All right, here we go. BG Knockout. Welcome back to Vlad TV.
What's up, Vlad? What it do?
It's been a little minute.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, we hung out in Vegas, went
Yes.
to the Cameron show.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's like we haven't seen each other, but you haven't been on in a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot has happened since last time.
Yeah.
I think, in Vlad TV world, I think the biggest news, though, was I actually did an interview with Willie D, and I apologized for the Farrakhan misquote.
Oh, awesome.
You heard about this?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't see it, but I heard about it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to do it for a while, because at the time that I did it, my head really wasn't in the right space and so forth, and a whole bunch of stuff was happening, and I was being kind of torn between different people's opinions and so forth, so I decided not to do anything. But
Right.
at one point, I'm like, listen, I need to go ahead and really apologize and take responsibility for it. And me and Willie D have been rocking together for a long time, and he's a big Farrakhan supporter.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to go with someone who was not just going to be like softball.
Yeah.
He had been on stage with Farrakhan. He had conversations with him. He admires him. So I knew that he was going to press down on me.
Right.
So that's why I did it with him. And the reaction was actually pretty good.
I'm glad you did it, though, man. That was big of you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
That
You're
was
a
big
Muslim
of you.
yourself.
Absolutely, but I'm orthodox. I'm
Right.
not under the same creed as them.
Right.
But, I'm just saying, just for the sake of, who you are and, your brand and things like that. You know what I mean? And the fact that you was just big enough to do that, like, I commend you for that, bro. That was dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I also want to do it at a time where it was clear that I wasn't being pressed.
Yeah.
That I wasn't doing it to try to turn the business around.
Right.
Business is fine. It's been fine for the last 5 years.
Right.
Nobody got, made me do it. No one forced me to do it. I didn't feel a threat of any sort. It was like, I want to do it, and I want to do it on my own terms.
Yeah.
And this is the way I did it. And yeah, it was dope. And what's interesting is Lord Jamar actually came back to Vlad TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get that to happen?
Well, he reached out to me.
Really?
Yeah. He reached out to me. He sent me a text, and we started talking. And at first, it was just like a talk about just our relationship, because we really were friends before.
Yeah,
all this
I
happened.
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. And, we had like a long talk, and it was like a really positive talk. I mean, I didn't know where it was going to go. I was expected for the bullshit or for a positive conversation, but him and I both took it positive. And then we talked about, possibly having him come back.
Okay.
I ran it by him. He thought it was a good idea. He came back, and then everyone's in an uproar right now.
Yeah. That's dope, though, man. I mean,
I think it's dope.
I don't understand, like, what the whole issue was to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, to me, a lot of people blame you for what people get on this, sit in this seat, and what comes out of their mouths. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? If you ask somebody a question and they volunteer something to you, and then something happened as a result of that, how is that your fault? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if it's something you don't want to touch on, just simply don't talk about it. Just be like, I can't speak on that.
Right.
I don't see the hard thing about that.
Well, I think I was the first one to really do it.
Yeah.
I was the first wave of YouTubers back in 2008. And what I was doing, hip-hop media was not doing.
Yeah.
Everything was radio interviews, softball questions about the album. That's it.
Yeah.
And what I was trying to do was different. It was more like a 60 minutes, real, like, in-depth,
right.
barbershop kind of conversation.
Right.
And people weren't ready for that. So that's why people started calling me the feds and the police and all that. But when you look around, most interviewers that you know of ask similar types of questions.
Absolutely.
So, I don't mind, man. I don't mind. But it was nice to put it out there, and it was nice for Jamar to come back, because he was my first original repeat guest.
Yeah, I remember.
And everyone's mad at him, it seems. But, he's rocking with his decisions. So,
yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all good. It's all good. And I appreciate you. You were rocking with me the whole time.
Oh,
also,
for sure, yeah.
When we were going through it. And, you are, Muslim, like a traditional orthodox Muslim, but you still have things in common with the Nation of Islam and so forth. So
yeah. I mean, the one thing we have in common, we're black. You know what I'm saying? Those are my people. Farrakhan is one of the leaders of the black community. Mm-hmm. And for the things that he's done, throughout his life, I respect. You know what I'm saying? So I would never publicly, like, say nothing about him. Wrong or anything like that. So I understand, like, the sentiment when it comes to his name being spoken in a certain type of way. Like, I get it,
Yeah. And I said in the Willie D interview that, like, look, at the end of the day, he's accomplished great things. Like, who really could pull off a 1 million man march?
Absolutely.
I don't know too many other leaders of any race that could pull that off.
Right.
They
And
did it
just organizing black people in a positive way, bro. Like in this type of climate that we live in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They not on the street committing crimes and in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? They have businesses and things like that. That's very commendable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I was interviewing NOI members before all this happened.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, man, you know, I apologize. I didn't make an excuse for it. I said I made a mistake. And at the end of the day, it's been a really cool thing because now I could talk about it publicly. And people like Killer Mike called me and was like, yo, man, thank you so much for doing it. You know, I never said this to you, but I've always kind of had a problem with your stance on this. And doing this means a lot to our friendship.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely,
so forth.
absolutely.
So, no, man, it was cool.
That's dope, man. So on behalf of the black folks, I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you, man. Thank
Yeah,
you for telling me that.